So today, I thought I'd bring you another round of Warzone solos, but this time I play it like the filthy camper that I always hate being killed by. And the reason I did this is because, as far as I can remember from this round, again, I recorded this a few weeks ago. I keep a lot of my solos rounds for a little bit longer, but as far as I can remember, the start wasn't brilliant, and I was just like, you know what, I can't be bothered to get killed again. I just, I wanted to get closer to the end of the round, so I just played campy, which is kind of how solos is, well, it always gets played that way. The amount of people that I kill that have been sitting in buildings all the time. I hate this sniper, this ground loot sniper, by the way. I can never figure out how to zoom it in, because it says, yeah, when I scope in, it says zoom in, middle mouse button, but I tried doing that here, and yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to zoom it in, and it doesn't do it. So clearly that button prompt doesn't work properly, which is frustrating, because it means that it's not zoomed in at all, and actually trying to hit anybody with it is really difficult. But yeah, the start I'm having here, kind of indicative of how the rest of the start's going to go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump forward to the first bit of action, and you're going to see the start of my campy escapades across Verdansk, where I just hold buildings and attempt to win the game. So as you can see here, by the player number in the top right-hand corner, we are down to 73 players. That gives you some idea of just how poor of a start this was for me. I just couldn't find any ammunition anywhere, but I did stumble across this fight that was happening. This is an area of the map that I don't go all that often, because there's quite a few angles, and there's the hillside that you have to contend with. I didn't want to open any doors or break any glass here, because there's clearly two players that are having a fight, and I want to try and third party it. I just want to see if I can find an angle and get an idea on where these guys might actually be. Heard the footstep there. I think that footstep... There you go. Hear him a lot louder now. He's run around the outside of the building. He's on the left wall, I think, at the moment. See the car that's just appeared on the minimap? Suddenly we've got a three-man fight going on. Make that a four-man fight, maybe. We're not sure. Somebody appeared on the minimap down in the river. Now somebody's sniping. See him right there? Just appeared. His gun just appeared on the side of the window. More shots coming in. More snipes. This is the best part. He was clearly very angry with me. My aim was terrible. Like, that's what happens, though. When someone's near a vehicle and they hit the enter vehicle button, they will just literally teleport to the door, and you can see just how many shots I ended up missing before I corrected onto where he should have been. And you would have thought playing Warzone I would know that by now, but honestly, it's a valid tactic. But there was another person up the hill here. Thought I'd try and push him. Gets killed. Just glinted over the top of the metal wall here, and he only caught sight of me as he jumped. I might have gotten away with that if he hadn't have jumped. Did anyone else really not like the 1911 dual wield in the Gulag? I absolutely hated it, man. I got quite lucky. If I'd have stayed behind that block much longer, then I probably would have died. But regardless of that start, and, you know, just how little action I actually got up until there were 48 players left, we've now finally picked up our loadout. We're running the MAC-10 and the PKM here, and that's purely so that I can get long-range beams and close-range beams at the same time. And this was the period of time where I was trying not to use snipers too much and just change up my playstyle a bit. And obviously having a MAC-10 would imply that maybe you want to be aggressive and push people, but I'm not going to do that in this game because, well, I think this might have been my third or fourth solo of the day. And I just remember being relentlessly pushed by people. And I think I was playing at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon EU time. So it starts to get a little bit hot. People coming home from work. Those good players start to join the servers that are better than me. And, you know, I don't want to die. So I just thought, I'll do a bit of looting up here. I'll stick out on this side of the map, which is the quieter side. And maybe hold a building, a strategic position. And we'll just see what we can do. Because sometimes it doesn't matter how you win. It just matters that you do win. So that's exactly what we're trying to do in this match. So this is the strategic position I've decided to take. I popped a dead silence before I pushed in here. There is some like gear on the floor here from a dead player. He gave me a satchel and a dead silence. But the reason I want to hold this position is because the circle is like half off the map over here. And there's a buy station right here. So if I need anything, I can move to the buy station. But one mistake I do see a lot of people do is that they hold the buy station building directly. Which means if someone goes for the buy and then you move, they'll hear your footsteps very, very quickly. And they will probably react and try and shoot you. So what I decided to do was take this building so that I had a bit of a better line of sight on what was going on. I spotted a truck and a car moving around here. This is like my worst nightmare as a solos player. You got two vehicles surrounding you and you have basically no way of combating them. I'm not sure how this guy knew I was here. I think he must have had a UAV. But what saved me is you cannot shoot through those metal slats. You can't shoot through them, which meant every time he tried to shoot my feet or something like that, those bullets were going nowhere. Which was absolutely perfect because it meant that I could just use it as solid cover. My MAC-10 took a little bit longer to kill him than I thought it should. But in the end, I won because I had the positioning and I'd camped a building and he had to push into it. Managed to collect enough money to get a UAV, so I've got a little bit of vision on what's going on. There's a guy over here at this other loadout, other buy station. I think he's probably going to hold that for the rest of the game. Me just making sure that I mark as many people as possible. But before I can get back to the building, there's a jousting match happening on the road out there. See the two trucks? Hello. They just go straight past each other. This was before the nerf to the berthas in Warzone. So in solos, you could have up to 20 different berthas on the map at any one time. In a more recent update that happened, I think, earlier this week, or no, just last week, I think. They've now changed it so that there's only about 5 or 6 berthas on the map in solos, and that just stops people using them in the end game as massive, like, tanks, basically, because people don't want to shoot them and try and take them down. And they're really, really, they can be quite aggressive in the end zones, and people jump out and let it roll past you, and then they just beam you. So Raven wanted to get rid of that, which I think is a good move. But I have to be careful, because obviously this is a match from a couple of weeks before that update, so I've still got plenty of berthas to contend with. Ah, what a lovely view. Absolutely fantastic. I love it, with the blinding sunlight coming straight through the window, making everything look really washed out. Look at that. Look how bright that is. You can barely see out, unless you're looking directly out the window. Look at it off angle. Some of the way you look through it is really, really bright. I didn't mean to do that. Definitely did not mean to do that. However, got extremely lucky, because there was somebody out in the open. Got to contend with a 4x4 here. But that 4x4 has spotted the player. Becomes a bit more interesting. And PKM beams ahoy. That's 2 players downed. And the vehicle destroyed. I was being sniped at there. Not sure what angle that came from. Didn't land the shot, so I got quite lucky. But PKM beams, love them in solos. PKM is a really strong gun. One of the guys has managed to get back up and self-res. Back in cover again. The only thing about the PKM is reloading it. It does take a good 6 or 7 seconds, but the amount of bullets you can put down range and the damage they end up inflicting is really, really high. This guy's trying to get away. Turns around and gets a couple of shots on me. He sort of like jump shot and then crouched on the ground or prone down. So fair play for him to actually landing one of those shots, but PKM did the job in the end. That's all that matters. 19 players left, 4 kills, and all I've really done is use buildings to kill people. I'm not moving from this position. This is my factory building now. No one else is having it. This is me just surveying the area here to make sure nobody's on those far hills. And I'm just being aware if anyone's sitting around with berthas. I do have a threat too coming up on me for a bounty. And we've got 2 minutes left on that bounty, so I'm going to have to be cautious. And you can already see I'm like backing into the corner. Like in my head, I remember at this point saying like, look, this is just a campy solos round. So just literally play into the meme and just camp the building. And the amount of people in Warzone that do actually do this, I think it's kind of sad, because I would love it if Warzone was a bit more action-packed in solos, but I genuinely can understand why people do this, because it gets results. You might not get that many kills, but you're probably going to get more wins, or you're at the very least going to get much later into the rounds that you play. So I can understand why people do this. I just don't find it particularly enthralling. But I thought, you know what, we're going to showcase it on the channel. Some people really like these spectating videos where I just, like, watch gameplay that I've already done. Basically, like, spectating myself in Warzone. I know there's a lot of that going on at the moment, but there's that Bertha I was talking about, sitting right at the top of the hill there.
Disregard last.
Just looking up at the truck here, and I actually spot the player that's up there. We give him a cheeky tickle. I mean, it would have been rude for me not to give him a cheeky tickle. Everyone loves a cheeky tickle, don't they? They do, right? I've switched positions here because that guy up on the hill might have had an angle through those rear windows, and I want to make sure that I put a bit more cover between me and him. So there's that, like, bar in the middle of the windows there. Very difficult to shoot somebody on the other side of the building, even if you've got line of sight on, like, half their body. Chances are you're not going to land the shots, but these are the shots you do land with the PKM. Absolutely beamed that guy out of the game. He just got super unlucky that he was there at the time when I was looking out. If I'd have been on the other side, he probably would have got away. But he was also in the TAC rover. That's, like, open. There's, like, absolutely no protection from any bullets coming at you. And he just got beamed out of existence. So sorry to him, but yeah, that was a nice kill. So we're now at circle 5. Player drops in. Interesting. Get the break on the guy, but don't get the kill. And actually, you may have noticed that I missed somebody over on the right-hand side just before I started talking. You might have seen it. I just saw it on the recording there. And standing out of that window, that could have been a big mistake for me. A really big mistake. But the guy that was dropping in, he must have been released from the gulag with nobody left to fight him because nobody died. So, because we're at the start of Circle 5 and the gulag's closed, so it will just kick you out and put you back into the game. I'm just keeping track again of this guy that was up the hill in that truck. And the truck is over there. So there's going to be at least one player on that orange mark that I need to keep an eye on. But I think, again, I've got a really, really good position. So camping this building has massively paid off. Look, there's the guy. And again, we just give him another cheeky tickle. Footsteps below. Poor lad. Absolutely no idea, that lad. I don't think he realised that I was on the upper floor. It's why this building is actually a really, really good one to hold, because there's 3 levels. You can be ground level, you can be on that first floor where the staircase is, or you can take the ladder, and the ladder gets you right up into the rafters of the building. And a lot of the time, people don't have the angle when they come into the building to be able to see you, which means then you can creep forwards when you want to, and engage that player, and you'll have pretty much full line of sight on them, as you saw with the guy that just tried to take my building. So, unfortunate to him, but I don't think he had any idea I was up the top there. See, now that was me being cautious coming out the back window there. I just wanted to make sure that there was nobody left for me to pick off, and I'm glad that I checked back, because I think this is the guy that I missed when I was shooting at the guy that parachuted back onto the map, and I jumped out of the window. No, I haven't got dead silence here, but this guy will have escaped into the gas, but he didn't cough, so he's got a gas mask. So he's gone a certain way. Not 100% sure where he has gone. I get back to the safety of my building. He's going to be around there somewhere. He could have made a run across past his loadout to that building. But he's definitely on that rear part of the building over that area. Thing is that the circle's going to close really slowly for him, so he has an opportunity where he doesn't have to move straight away. But back in the safety of the rafters of the building, which is great for me.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Someone's popped a UAV. That could have been him on that buy station there. Here's shots. I think that was the guy that came out from the truck. I think that was the truck guy over on the orange marker that he was at the bunkers earlier. And he's come down on foot to try and get the finish. But the other guy he was shooting at was very, very close. But it's clearly ghosted, not on the heartbeat at all. Oh, that guy appeared. I forgot. He was like hidden on the right-hand side of the window. But again, I still hold the power position here. He can't shoot through these metal slats, which gives me a really good position. Shots going off over the road. How did I miss that guy? He moved a couple of times, even as I looked in that direction, and I didn't see him. So, 1v1. Somebody got killed over the road. I killed the guy in the building. It's pretty much confirmed he's going to come from over there. 8 kills now. So, there you go. Actually, camping does get you results. Heart beating, just to make sure. Nothing on the heartbeat, but... Hear those? There's the footsteps. Sorry, buddy boy. Mac 10 ruined you. And that's Warzone Solos if you play like a dirty camper. Hold a building, wait for people to come to you, kill them, win the game. Absolutely brilliant. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that kind of gameplay style. I like to move around a bit more. I like to snipe. But I thought, you know what? The round at the beginning wasn't going that well. Might as well give it a campy shot. And it worked. We got the win. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. A little bit more than I enjoyed playing it. But and I'll catch you all very soon.